So sending them the all clear here. Well, looks like they're going. So we got Drillber starting off here. Typical rocker. Leads with the stealth rock and gets knocked off by the Yamask. Yeah, mask.
Yeah, it's hitting that thing with the physical attacks, getting that mummy spread around.
Yeah, the Drillber did use stealth rock on the first turn, so that won't touch, and potentially Drillber could be using Earthquake, as that's a really common move for him. So may not even be affected, depending on what happens here. Yep, but the Will-O-Wisp is really big to get on that Drillber, as it's a physical sweeper.
I would have liked to seen a switch in that order. Get the burn on first, then follow up with the knockoff.
Well, Dirtman did knock off the Drillber on the first turn, so it is no longer holding the Eviolite either. Does have poison spikes down, so I don't see a poison Pokemon on the. Oh, I do see Ghastly, but Ghastly does have Levitate. We'll have to see how that works. I don't know if he will actually. Yeah, he'll absorb them. They're not ground, so um, if Uhtred, son of Uhtred, sees that, he will be able to absorb these poison spikes with the Ghastly. Oh, and the big stab fake out from the technician Meowth there. Huge move by Dirtman.
And interestingly enough, it looks like the spikes are staying. It looks like the levitate does not allow it to scoop up the spikes.
Good old Gen 1 Ghost Poison Pokemon.
See, as they're staring each other down, a knockoff from the Meowth would hurt the Ghastly a lot, but it would have to survive the attack. I believe Ghastly is typically going to be faster.
Yeah, and the Meowth is almost assuredly carrying knockoff, so
Yeah, and I am wrong on that. The Meowth tops out at 19 with the Ghastly at 18.
yeah, and a knockoff would be very good. Oh, a Shadow Claw, which is also really good against the Ghastly. And we see the Meowth losing HP with a Life Orb, so it is a pure physical sweeper. Let's see if the Meowth U turns out if he gets a bad matchup here. I'm looking at Uhtred, son of Uhtred's lineup left, and potentially the Elekid or maybe the Talo can provide some speed against this Meowth.
Either that or using that armored bug thing to kind of wall it off a bit.
hmm What's that thing like the Excalibug or something? Nightbug.
Eventually.
Okay, so he sent the Elekid out. It did get toxic from the spikes, so that will introduce the clock. And cross chop missing, huge miss there. And there's the U-turn by the Meowth. The Elekid was faster. Here comes the Vulpix, and this Vulpix could have Flash Fire. But Uhtred, son of Uhtred, is going to need to get this Elekid out of here because that Toxic is hitting hard already. And there's the big cross chop, but the Vulpix stays alive and just overheats the Elekid right away.
It makes me curious if the elect kid was choiced. I would have also have liked to have seen a volt switch or something like that.
Yeah, and the physical Elekid is definitely probably had a choice band there if I or a choice scarf to be able to outspeed. But now this Talos should be able to outspeed here. We could see the quick attack or the Brave Bird. Yeah, Brave Bird coming in to finish off the Vulpix. A little bit of damage back, but not so bad. And it is poisoning itself, it looks like. So we could see some high damage moves here coming from the Talo with the Flame Orb on it.
Yeah, but we got 2 to 5 turns of sun left.
Oh, and a massive Sludge Bomb with that Bulbasaur just quickly comes in and takes care of that Talo. And here's
And
the
this is why I
Shelmet.
think, yeah, it would have been a little better to use the Bellsprout for that with its access to Weather Ball. It's not walled off by the Shelmet like the Bulbasaur is.
Well, the knockoff will help because, yeah, the Eviolite is going to be the most common item. Drown popping in on the Bulbasaur. If you're Dirtman, you can probably just swap to the other grass Pokemon since your Bulbasaur is going to go to sleep here on the next turn.
Yeah, either that or just pivot into the Meowth, get some fake out chip. It's not great against the steel typing, but he's got Mon to spare. He can sacrifice the hits, letting his Bulbasaur fall asleep at this point. I wouldn't like that too much.
Yeah, and I don't think this Bulbasaur is going to be doing any sleep talking. So, oh, and it's remember it's quite fast and also appears to be life orbed. And that Shelmet just dies to the Toxic, and the Bulbasaur goes to sleep. It looks like Dirtman is just playing the I have more Pokemon than you game, and it's looking like it's going to pay off. So the body slam there, but that Toxic, those spikes have come up huge, putting clocks on every single one of Uhtred, son of Uhtred's Pokemon. Nice call there with the protect on the Licky Tongue, but again, this Toxic is going to build up quick, and if you're Dirtman, you have an opportunity to just slowly peck down this Licky Tongue as it kills itself with the Toxic. You turning out with the Meowth, which is interesting because there's Stealth Rocks in play. Probably wanted to just leave it in play, but the Bellsprout coming out here. Oh, and the Licky Tongue has Wish, but Toxic is going to start ticking for the amount that a Wish will heal very soon, so it's probably not going to be enough.
Yeah, staring down 3 Mon, given it's kind of 2 with that Meowth so low.
Yeah, and you don't really have a. Oh, and there's the one turn Solar Beam. But the stab body slam able to take it down. It's getting hit by the poison, but the wish won't matter, or the wish won't be able to heal the Licky Tongue fast enough for it to survive. And the Psychic takes down the Licky Tongue. He made it a game there, but Dirtman takes game one. That Licky Tongue was impressive there at the end with those stab body slams.
Yeah, Golda definitely being known for that kind of play with those strong normals and the body slams just really carrying them through. The Mill Tank from last season, his Licky Tongue filling the role this one.
They are all set.
I am curious if we see a change up on the leads.
Well, both of the leads had pretty nice chip from their various items, especially the poison spikes. I'm wondering if we see, because we have a ghost on both sides, so the spinning is not going to be very effective. But it looks like Uhtred just really wants to kill this thing quick.
And there goes Dirtman getting the burn on a little bit earlier as well, helping mitigate some of that damage, giving his Yamask the time to get those spikes out.
That burn just really cutting the attack of the Drillbur. It's probably going to need 3 more Earthquakes to kill. So at this point, since your Ghastly can't eat those toxic spikes, you're kind of in a rough spot here. It doesn't appear that Uhtred has a Heal Beller available on this team, so you're really, in a rough spot here because we saw in the last game that Yamask has knockoff, so he'll also be able to start doing big damage with a knockoff here.
He has like getting his double layers of spikes, and this is what I was curious about getting the Talo in. A little risky getting it in. Potentially the knockoff rune and the burn antics for the guts. But it does come in cleanly, and now it's going to be able to put a hole in Dirtman's team.
Huge damage.
But we got to keep in mind that its ability is now Mummy.
Mummy. Yeah, it has
It
been
is now
mummied.
effectively turned off, and it is taking the attack drop from the burn now.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see if this Meowth, the fake out, will do the large percentage of Talos HP, but providing technician for the Talo, and if Uhtred, son of Uhtred, oh, it does survive there, but the burn will take down the Talo here. Um, Huge damage from the technician, but Meowth is now the mummy.
Yes, the Mummy is on Meowth. That is the thing that is happening right now. If
Now,
he U-turns, he could just remove it from the game
but
and reactivate his technician, but does he even want to? Out of his move pool, it's really only the fake out that's getting the technician buff.
yeah, just goes ahead and pulls it out for the Vulpix. And the Rapid's been able to get those spikes out of there. Really risky because an Earthquake would have really hurt this Vulpix.
But good on Golda. Getting rid of those spikes was definitely a big issue for him in the last match.
Yeah, and he no long and Dirtman no longer has his setup in Yamask, but that stab Earthquake still doing massive damage on the Bulbasaur because of that poison typing to go along with the grass. So um, neutral hit, but as you can see, it is a ton of damage.
Yeah, that burn making it somewhat manageable, allowing the Bulbasaur to come in here. We'll see if it's using the Solar Beam for the extra damage or the Giga Drain to potentially heal back up.
I got to imagine that he's going to be going for some sort of healing move here. We saw in the last game that he had a life orb on this Bulbasaur, so even on top of taking that first hit, he's going to take another hit from an attack here. A Drillbur is not very good against grass, so I think we could see a swap maybe to the Shelmet or even the Licky Tongue here. I'd imagine that you want to go ahead and get that Licky Tongue going because Dirtman does. Yeah, here comes the Licky Tongue. Dirtman doesn't have the counter in the Yamask, so Licky Tongue is going to be able to come out here. And I mean, the Leech Seed is okay, is not ideal, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. So he was able to knock off the Eviolite, which is actually going to be a pretty big deal. That was a big part of Licky Tongue's bulkiness. Oof. Huge stab solar beam, and then the leech seed chip taking down the Lickitung. Just that is a huge, huge turn for Dirtman, and Uhtred, son of Uhtred, needs to get this Bulbasaur down.
Yeah, but Dirtman also just kind of he needs to let it die. He doesn't have his sun up. If he gets to heal up off a few more of those leech seeds, he may be able to consider bringing it in and out again.
I really like the play though from Dirtman because he is getting every little ounce out of this Bulbasaur, and it finally goes down to the Bug Buzz, and it'll survive one more Leech Seed here. But that Shelmet is in a tough spot. The Magic Guard preventing the damage from rocks and spikes on the Abra. Back with the Drillbur. The Psychic is going to use huge damage on the Drillbur and take it down. You don't have a great swap with the Ghastly either because the Psychic will super one-tap the Ghastly. Elekid, we saw previously, could be Scarfed, but the Cross Chop is not something you want to do into the Psychic Pokemon. I wonder if it has something like a Stab Thunder Punch or maybe, I don't know, like a Superpower or some sort of other attack that could do maybe not superpower into the psychic, but something good that is a non-fighting move.
A possible knockoff for the dark attack. The big thing on the Abra is if it has that focus sash, it is going to guarantee take 2 hits to kill it.
That's true, and we see this battle with Alakazam and Gengar. Will he just send the Ghastly out there to try and maybe send a stab sludge bomb to proc the sash? Maybe he'll just send the Elekid out there for a Thunder Punch and maybe hope to get a lucky Paralyze hack.
Hard choices, especially when you're this low in your team. And even after that, you've still got the Vulpix to set up the sun for the Bellsprout, and that Meowth just sitting there with some fake out chip and more attacks.
Yeah, if the Elekid gets locked in on a choice item, you know that Meowth is coming out to provide fake out. But again, looking at Dirtman's remaining team, there's no defogger there, so pretty yeah. And Uhtred decides to go with the Elekid to outspeed the Abra here, and maybe we'll see a stab move. That's what I would want to press if I was Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Knockoff would also, like you said, be a really nice move here.
Yeah, I'm not positive on the move pool, but I'm pretty sure it's in there.
And he goes for the stab thunder punch, and it procs the sash. You see the HP at 6%, and the stab psychic just one-shotting the Elekid. Huge damage. And this is where I think you got to send out the Ghastly and just hope that you outspeed. That sash just coming up huge there. This Shelmet will be dead real quick. But oh, Dirtman decides to pull it out, and the Shelmet will get a free Bug Buzz here. The fire Pokemon resisting the bug move.
Yeah, an interesting choice to kind of let off the gas there.
Looks like it won't be a problem, but here comes Ghastly. And you can't really chip with the Meowth. This could be tough if Uhtred can take the Vulpix down right here. This could actually be a photo finish coming down to pretty much the Bellsprout versus the Ghastly. This is really exciting. Yeah, there takes down the Shadow Ball takes him down. The Abra's going to come out and take no damage from any of the chips. So that's how that'll work. But Meowth won't be able to fake out. So here's the Bellsprout, and it's going to be Ghastly versus Bellsprout here, I think.
Yeah, we do know that Meowth has the Shadow Claw. I just got to say, that shiny Ghastly is a beautiful sprite there. In that sunny day, look at it shine.
Oh, and the Weather Ball just demolishes the Ghastly and ends it. And
Dang.
Dirtman takes him down with the 2-0 finish.